Hey there, Nick Supik, Century 21. I hope you're doing well today. I want to discuss the best time to sell your home here today. And, you have 12 months in a year, and there's a lot of little ebbs and flows in the market. Oftentimes, it's kind of funny. I always say, you kind of don't know you were just in a hot market until it's like over. You're like, oh wow, that was a ebb and flow there, right? It was pretty good right there. You know, and a couple weeks at a time, maybe a month or two at a time. Sometimes we have a little longer, but even in the longer terms, there's ebbs and flows in that too. Starting the first of the year, I'm just going to kind of go through the year here real quick and kind of give a generalization of good times. I always wanted to actually put together a calendar of my prediction of best time to buy or sell a home for the year, and I may do that. We'll see. But in any event, the January 1 hits. If you wanted to sell, put it on the market. First 2 weeks of January, I would actually have it on potentially have it on the market the week between Christmas and New Year's. Once Christmas is over, there's a lot of people on vacation. There's a lot of people moving, relocating to different parts of the country, different areas for different reasons. They take that time to do that, and they have time off between Christmas and New Year's. A lot of people take vacation time. I'm sure you're one of those folks that does that, and so there's a lot of homes. The homes that are on the market typically that time of the year get a lot of activity. Most people were like, I'd never put my house on the market then. Well, if you want to sell your house, it's a great time to do it. And the next time in that, so between Christmas and New Year's, if you want to have your house on the market, um, the first of the year, typically the first 2 weeks, I would put it on right away. I mean, basically the second or third of the year, I'd have it on the market. And and then after about the second week of January, I would say the activity level starts to wane immediately here in Western Pennsylvania. Primarily, it becomes weather related at that point in time. If we have unreasonable or unseasonably warm weather that time of year, then the markets will continue to maintain. However, we generally will start to dip after the second week. We like to take little mini vacations through the winter time, and I never go the first 2 weeks of January because we generally sell several homes that first couple weeks, and then by the third or fourth week, we normally will take a long weekend here or there, just to kind of get to some warmer weather, and then February. You start to see, like, I would say I wouldn't put my house on the market at the beginning of February, generally speaking. Again, a little weather contingent, but I'd be prepared for it. If it's a rather cold winter, then it maybe is not the best scenario. But by mid-February, towards the end of February, I would put my house on the market, and I sold my own home. I ended up selling it in April or May. I think it was April. I always said I wanted to sell it in the middle of winter. It just didn't line up. So we did put it on in, I think it was April. We did sell it in like 3 weeks. I mean, literally, when I say sold it in 3 weeks, we actually closed about 3 weeks after we put it on the market, because I think we had 16 showings the first day, second day, within the first weekend, and we had like 4 or 5 offers. And and I took of those 5 offers, we took one that could close in 3 weeks. So we literally sold it in 3 weeks. Uh, you could do that too. Um, you just have to be prepared for it. And we moved out of our house, had it fixed up, ready to go, and we actually didn't take the highest price offer. We took one that was a little less because they could close quicker and there was no inspections, and it was a sure thing. So we actually underpriced when I listed my own home. I underpriced it and sold it for I think it was $15,000 more than asking at that time. We had an offer of 25,000 more than asking, but we took the one that was a little less because it was a sure thing and it was done. It was over within 3 weeks. But the other one would have been 6 weeks, inspections, appraisals, everything. It would have been. It probably wouldn't have closed. To be honest with you. So, in any event, uh, little side note there. So you can list it in April or May too, and it's a really good time of the year. I would. There's more homes sell normally April or May flip flop on being the month that the most homes sell of the year. And when we say sold, it means they closed, they settled that day. So they had to have gone under contract um, 3 to 6 weeks before that. generally 4 to 6 weeks before that. So if April was the biggest month, then it means as homes came on the market the end of February or March to close in April. If May's the highest month, it means they would have came on the market in March, mid March, and in April, and then closed in May. So that means more homes list in February and March, generally speaking. So between February, March, and April is going to be the best time of the year to list your home for sale. And then it's going to sell in April, May, or June. June occasionally is a high closing month, sold closing month. It's not that often though. So I do a weekly market report, and you can go back. I'm working on trying to figure out how to archive them because I'm putting them as blogs on my website. So over the course of the next few weeks to few months, I'm going to start to archive all that information there for everybody to go back and see historical data. So best time to sell, and notoriously somewhere between April, May, June, and July is the highest priced sales price. Typically, average sales price. Again, you can go back and look at some of my market reports. Most of them are posted in Facebook as a weekly market report, so you can go through there and look. And I put historical data in 2 to 3 weeks of those, so you can go back and see when and so if the highest priced homes, average of that month, again would have been 4 to 6 weeks before that is when those would have listed. So that's the best time to sell. It's not generally those specific months. So you do need to consult a real estate professional to do that. And then from there, that's the best time. I always said I would list my house in February because here's my rationale. A lot of people go, my house is so beautiful in the spring with all the flowers and the shrubbery and the green grass and all that, and not so I always say I want to sell mine in the wintertime when there's snow on the ground. Everything's white. It looks just as pretty. And people just assume you have pretty flowers, green grass, and a nice little patio out back where they can grill. They just make huge assumptions about everything outside in the wintertime. So I would list. I'm a huge fan of listing in January, February, and March. Um, so that's it. I'm not going to go on too much longer. Best time to sell is when you need to sell a home. We will give you the best advice when it comes to preparing your home, positioning it on the market, getting the highest sales price, driving the most traffic in the door. And that's really what it comes down to about selling your house. So hope you're doing well. Have a blessed day.